All right. Welcome, everybody. Another edition, Passage to Agamar, 5th edition West Marches style campaign for Dungeons & Dragons. We're glad you chose to join us this evening. And we're joined by some regulars and some new folks, kind of as usual. But what we're going to do is we're going to just run through the player roster for this evening, starting out from left to right. Why don't you go ahead and tell us about Cataris?
Cataris is a silver dragonborn, a champion by trade, and loves to get up front and deal damage.
Awesome. And Halrin, why don't we tell the audience a little bit about Halrin, Oat Dancer?
Sure. So I'm Halrin. I'm a halfling monk. I've lived most of my life really kind of away from society in a cave, where my father lived, and his father before him, and his father. So we've kind of been segregated. But a bear recently showed up, and I couldn't really take the bear, so I just kind of left. So I'm out in this new world that is weird and scary to me.
Awesome. I'm glad to have you. Gallon, why don't you go ahead and tell us about Gallon?
Gallon is a human paladin who has come to Baranor to seek out the evil and slay it as well as he can, and to help the commoners achieve a better life. And he's got a two-handed weapon, but he can switch to a shield if need be. But he'd rather use his gigantic maul if he had his preference.
Awesome. And Xanros, that's a familiar face. Why don't you go ahead and remind the audience who Xanros is?
Hi everybody, we'll be playing Xanros the Monk. He's a monk cleric who, has been shown to the very well capability of almost dying, but as well as calming a dragon. Take that into factor.
Great. And Senor Bobos, yet another familiar face. Why don't you go ahead and remind the audience who Senor Bobos is?
Yeah, Senor Vobos is a wizard from a different continent who came over to Nivea to sort of make a new life after his old job as a painter artisan was taken away from him, and he too has seen the problems of Nivea and is dedicating himself to helping them. I'm sorry, of Baranor. He doesn't go to Nivea too often for some reason.
Yes, that is true. So, so we are picking up, and this is an Underdark expedition, and so I'm your DM, Brian. Also go by Mega in the forums and community. If you don't know me, look me up, say hello. But anyway, the story tonight begins with the group of you returning from a recent expedition, and being greeted by what appears to be the remnants of some kind of a battle scene. As you approach Baranor, portions of the town are on fire. There is a large dead lizard, kind of in the center of town, in close proximity to the Blue Forge, which is the local inn/tavern to which you've become so accustomed when you spend time in Baranor. And there are a series of adventurers and local Baranor dwarves kind of running around attending to the fires and seeing to the wounded. Whatever happened here happened fairly recently. So that's the scene that you see as you're returning to Baranor after being away for quite some time. What would you guys like to do?
Well, I'll take the front. I know that. Cataris will take the front.
Galen will be right behind him, or beside him rather. Senor Bobos and his owl will be right behind them, and we might make our way towards, towards the sounds of the screams and towards the carnage.
Sure. So, so as you approach the Blue Forge, you see a familiar face. So, Sarah, who is the wife of Brindle Greystone. Brindle Greystone is the owner of the Blue Forge. Sarah is out in front of the Blue Forge, and she's kind of down on her knees. And there are a couple of Baranor town guards kind of talking to her, and she appears to be weeping, and she is very distraught. A portion of the Blue Forge has actually been destroyed, and kind of adjacent to where it's been destroyed is the body of, as I mentioned, a giant lizard. And you hear her screaming and crying, and it seems like the event kind of is over, and now it's kind of the aftermath, right? So aside from that, I mean, you see a couple of other friendly faces or familiar faces from town. Some not so friendly, but familiar. And they're all kind of scurrying around, attending to different issues. People are being carried to areas where their wounds can be treated and things like that. The dwarves of Tor, the clerics of Tor, are out there, and they're attending to the sick and wounded. So, what would you guys like to do?
Galen will approach one of the clerics of Tor and say, "My God, what happened here?"
We were attacked. Some creatures. It was the Blue Forge was closing up for the night, and Sarah was inside, and her and Brindle were attending to the last bits of cleaning and tending bar when this creature burst through the wall, and someone, she said she didn't get a look at him, but someone hopped off and grabbed Brindle and threw a bag over his head and tied him up. There were several of these large lizards. The guards responded. They fired some crossbow bolts at them, and they saw, as they dragged away, some barrels of what we presume to be ale, as they disappeared again into the blackness. But Brindle's missing, and Sarah's quite distraught.
Wow. Maybe we should talk to Sarah. She does seem quite distraught. Maybe somebody would like to comfort her.
So as I mentioned, yeah, you see her. She's kind of, she's down on her knees, which, she's kind of on the, right out front of the Blue Forge, and it's quite unusual, right? I mean, she's a strong woman. She tends the bar. She keeps Brindle in line, which she'll tell you is a full-time job. And for her to be so distraught is very unusual. That whenever she's working bar, she takes no lip, and she doesn't give out any freebies. That's her saying.
She must be pretty mad they took the ale then, without paying for it.
Yeah, you would imagine. So did you guys want to approach her and try to figure out what's going on there?
I think we should.
I just didn't know
Alright.
if anybody else wanted to jump in.
Sure. Yeah, and so as you approach, you hear she says, "Oh, thank you. I appreciate it, Sergeant Sled. It's nice to know that you're trying your best, but maybe these fine adventurers here might be willing to assist. I don't know. The other group that, that helped to fight back the invasion. I know several of them were hurt. They're currently inside nursing their wounds and tapping into what ale we have left. But are you available for to help us? I don't want to presume that you're here for work, though most of you topsiders tend to be.
I had a book I was meaning to get to. I need to wash my hair. It's that time of year again.
Right.
No.
Senior
course.
Bobos.
Of course, we would be happy to assist in any way we can. The adventurers you mentioned, they're still in the town.
Yes. There were 5. Now there are 3.
Oh dear.
And as you look, when she says now there are 3, you see, some kind of covered bodies being dragged from the street. And you now get, now that you're closer, you get kind of the full picture of what seems to have gone down. But one of the bodies being dragged from the street appears to be like separated, like in half. So there are 2 separate teams of dwarves
Sweet.
dragging the top portion and the bottom portion of what you can presume was an adventurer.
The mending cantrip.
I think he's beyond
I'm kidding,
that.
I don't.
Yeah.
I have the cauterize cantrip.
Yeah, right. So, Shusi says, yes, they're inside. Of the 3 that remain, 2 are pretty badly wounded. One seems pretty well off, I would say, but he was the one who kind of stayed back, and he's one of those magic folk, kind of like you.
Senor,
Kinda like you.
You flatter me.
Hmm.
I have done some things that have been described as magical.
Well, I'm sure that it was quite impressive.
Alright, well, shall we go to the tavern? Do you need anything from us? Perhaps we could have a couple of these guards watch for you, unless you feel up to protecting yourself.
I believe that, these raiders were cowards. They hit and run style tactic. They came for the ale. They came. I don't know why they took Brindle. I don't want to find out. Perhaps they've grown fond of the ale that we serve here at the Blue Forge, but who knows? All I want is I want him back, and I'm willing to pay a fair reward. Say 500 gold for the safe return of Brindle. And if the ale manages to come back as well, or at least as much of it as they have not yet consumed, well, that would be a plus. Our ale is aged 120 years, so it's a shame when it goes missing.
Did they take any sort of special type of ale? Was it just the regular type? Like, why would they have grabbed these specifically? What does it have any special properties? Besides being fucking delicious. I've lived here for a while now.
It's Brindle's Reserve. This is the ale that we save for only the specialist of occasions.
It could be a lizard folk fraternity that has tried to kidnap a brewer so they can have infinite supply of alcohol. We have to find them and join this fraternity.
I'm not going to presume as to their motivations, but please, ask around if you must, but please make haste. It's only a matter of time before the the various ends that they have planned for him to start to take effect.
Of course.
So yeah, so the again, part of the Blue Forge is destroyed. The front entryway is kind of held open, and you see, there's a bunch of people inside, but clearly there's a group of kind of three adventurers, not Baranor natives. They're sitting there. There's 2 humans and an elf. Both of the humans are pretty beat up. They're being attended to by the clerics of Tor, and the elf doesn't look any. I mean, frankly, doesn't even look like he got dirt on his robe. But he's kind of sitting back, and he's kind of running his hands through his hair, and he's flipping through a book, and he seems distracted, but not not affected by the overall carnage that apparently just took place.
Is he armed?
I mean, he has a walking stick. Aside from that, no, it doesn't appear to be armed.
Does anybody else want to walk over to him?
I would like to walk over and assist with healing the 2 humans who obviously
That's a
need
good
healing.
idea.
Sure. One of the 2 humans is wearing leather armor. Is appears to be some kind of rogue type. Unsure, but I mean, you would presume that he is of the rogue persuasion. The other one appears to be, more of a kind of traditional swordsman, right? So he's carrying a long sword. He has a shield. He's got chainmail armor, but he looks like he's been cut up pretty good. He's currently laid out on a table. As the clerics are attending to him. The other guy has a big gash over his head. He's got a couple of slices in his arms. He's got, 2 arrows, crossbow bolts broken off, like in his shoulder. They took a beating, but he's not kind of laid out. He's sitting up as they're trying to get the crossbow bolts out of him.
Okay.
And you hear him, and he's like, "Hurry up already. I don't have all night. This business is annoying to me. I can't believe we come all the way down here and get into some tussle with some creatures the moment we sit down for an ale. All I want to do is get back to my business."
I'll walk up to the gentleman and, I offer to heal him with a cure wounds. Just discussing with him, be like, do you mind if I go ahead and perform this spell on you?
Seems to me like 40% of your crew wishes they could get back to business. You have very little empathy for them, it seems.
Yeah, he says, I'm relatively new to this group. I don't mean to cause offense, but I was promised riches and opportunity here in Baranor, and all I've gotten is wounds and agony.
You should, when your friends wake up, you can tell them all about your wounds and agony. Can you describe what happened here?
So he looks at you, Zenros. He says, I appreciate it, but if your intention is to follow up on what happened here, you'll probably need to hold on to whatever magical energies you possess. What attacked us was quite vicious. And then he looks over to you.
What? I'm sorry, you dropped out.
Says, what attacked us was quite vicious. And so he looks over to you and he says, well, first there were the lizards, but astride the lizards were these dwarves, or what appeared to be dwarves anyway. and I've never seen dwarves like this before. They seem to be pale, almost gray in color, and the white eyes, just almost emotionless. And as soon as the lizards made their way into the camp, they jumped down, headed straight for the cellar where the ale was being kept. They knew exactly, or they had to know exactly what they were looking for, because they were up quick as a flash. I've never seen dwarves move that fast. And the lizards kept us at bay while they did their bidding. And then once they had gotten the casks of ale, they tied them to the beasts, and the beasts just walked away. We managed to take out one of them, but the others made their escape. There were a total of 4, 3 of which were able to get away.
Is there any ale left around? I mean, maybe one of those lizards that they brought down. There's ale there. I'd like to taste it or examine it and see if I can see anything special about it that they might want. But did anybody see which way they headed or tracks? They might.
So Sarah would know if there's more of Brindle's reserve left. But I imagine she'd have to go down in the cellar to inspect. But there is other ale, just not. I mean, the Brindle's Reserve is a special brew that, I guess, like as I said, is aged 120 years.
They went straight for it. That's the reason that I'm thinking about it. So, but we can always taste it when we kill all of them and find it. So.
Right. So, the the roguish human looks back at you and he says, "We managed to track them a bit, me and he, which is why we came back in such a mess. Down the Wormspire. You're familiar with the Wormspire, are you not?"
Oh yes.
Down the Wormspire there lies a small alcove, just beyond where that witch was slain. There's a cave system. We chased them into the cave system, but dared not enter because we presumed it to be their lair. And considering there were only 2 of us, they might have made quick work of us. So we returned here, but on our way back, they ambushed us. We took out 2 of them, but there were more than we could count. And we fled back here to attend to our wounds. My friend, as you see on the table, took the worst of it. I was a bit more nimble and was able to escape the bulk of the punishment.
Now, when you saw these scores of dwarves, were there also scores of lizards? Were there one more than another? Was it more like 50-50?
We've only seen we saw the 4, one of which was killed. But when they ambushed us, there were no lizards. It was only these dwarves, and there were some other creatures, smaller than the dwarves, just almost looked like
Hollering over here, maybe?
No, smaller than even he.
Wow.
Almost looked like gnomes, almost, but not quite. I've never seen a gnome that looked like this, devoid of color and just strange looking creature.
Sounds like they need a killing.
On the surface, gnomes are colorful folk, flavorful speech and flowery personalities. These were, in essence, the polar opposite. Vile little creatures that needed to be brought to a swift end.
Well, we're just the people to bring around swift ends.
Oh, that is good to hear. I'm pretty confident that Sarah would like you to make haste, because I don't know what these creatures have in store for Brindle, but I'm pretty confident it's not going to be a relaxing spa holiday, if you know what I mean.
Well,
I think we
we
should move
might. Well,
forward.
let's not be hasty. Let's maybe sample some of this Brindle Reserve and see if it's really worth going after. You have to know what we're in for, after all. But no, if we can,
Okay.
Janros and Bobos were both there, so they would know the way. So we wouldn't need any maps or whatever else or other directions to get there.
Right. Yeah, no, I mean, you'd know the general vicinity. I mean, this particular cave you may not be familiar with, but you know the general vicinity of the cave structure that they're talking about, at least the Worm Spire. So for those of you that are unfamiliar with the Worm Spire is a tunnel that was created by a large purple worm a couple hundred years ago. It was closed off until fairly recently, when it was boarded up by the Baranor residents because people started disappearing from town. And so they basically boarded it up and prohibited anybody from going that way. And so recently some children went missing, and a party out of Baranor went and located the source of the missing children, which turned out to be a night hag.
And her pet dragon.
And her pet black dragon, wormling. And they killed the hag and, ultimately released the dragon because it was, kind of under the control of the hag. And once it became free to think on its own, it was less interested in fighting than, getting away and kind of finding a new lair.
You gave us +1 to the dragon faction for us for that, right?
Sure, yeah.
+1 relationship. Nice. So I have all of my spells in my familiar, my owl cinnamon on my shoulder. So I'm ready to go. I don't know about you guys.
I'm ready.
Yeah.
Catarus is ready.
All right. So anything else that you wanted to get to know before you headed out, or pretty much good? No? All right, everybody's good?
Yeah, I think I'm good.
Okay, cool. So you head towards the Worm Spire, and you see kind of in so here in the Underdark, the air, there is almost like a dust that kind of just perpetually flows through the air. It's it's a combination of spores from various funguses and fungi, but in this particular area, there's a lot of dust from the mining operations in the general vicinity. And I bring that up because as you look down the Worm Spire, you see these huge lizard feet, that seem to kind of ramble down the passageway of the Worm Spire, which, just to put it in perspective, is, it's about 60 feet across, by 60-ish feet tall. It was a huge purple worm that came through here and opened up this particular area. But you see these kind of rambling footsteps, and then you also see what looks like, just a rectangular object kind of dragged behind it.
This wasn't here before.
Yeah, no. And so it's pretty obvious. I mean, you can see the path that these creatures took They clearly didn't make any deliberate attempt, at least with the lizards, to kind of mask their exit. And as you head down the worm spire, you see about halfway down. It's very strange because all of a sudden the tracks that you've been following completely disappear, as if the lizards just stopped. Just there was no further progress. They stopped here and disappeared. But ahead of you, you see a small kind of tunnel opening, and as you look at it, it looks somewhat strange. And I will drop you onto the map, and I will let you know what it looks like here in just 1 second.
So we're standing at the edge of where the footprints stop, right? Because I don't think my character would want to go beyond that necessarily.
Right, Catarus is holding.
Yeah, you're right at kind of the mouth of this this cave structure.
Sweet. There it is.
When everybody's got the map loaded.
Yep.
I see everything.
So this passage seems to be filled with a thin veil of smoke that ripples rhythmically in a pattern resembling the dance of flames on a campfire. The air is an acrid mix of decay, smoke, and stale ale.
Delicious. I say we advance. I mean, if they're drunk, that's all the better for us.
I think we should move forward.
Okay.
Stealthily.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Sure.
have maybe Cinnamon use stealth and scout ahead a little bit, and I'll see through Cinnamon's senses to see what I can see.
So you're gonna have Cinnamon fly ahead?
Yeah, and he has advantage on those perception checks.
Sure. So anybody without dark vision, what are you doing about light?
I have a torch. Sorry, Galen has a torch. All his eyes right now.
I have dark vision.
All right. So Halrin does not have dark vision. Caterus doesn't have dark vision.
I have some torches on me, but I'm just sticking close to the torch that's lit.
So is there a torch lit? And if so, who's carrying it?
Galen is carrying a torch.
Okay. Cool. So you're gonna have Cinnamon fly ahead.
Yeah, fly down about 20 feet, maybe.
Okay.
Would that be a stealth roll or?
No, it's okay for now. A perception for Cinnamon would be good though.
Okay. So it has keen sight, so advantage on that. Nice.
Okay, so Cinnamon sees what looks like 3 large lizard creatures in this room. So basically the cave area just beyond the area that's revealed now opens up into a larger kind of chamber. And peering in, Cinnamon can make out clearly the shapes of 3 large-looking lizards who have not yet taken notice of the owl.
Okay. Are they just sitting around? Are they eating? Are they playing cards? Are they distracted at all?
They at this point seem to be just standing relatively still too. They're not eating, but all you see is really the 3, or all that Cinnamon sees is the 3 lizards. But they don't seem to be like actively doing anything. They're kind of holding in place relatively still.
Okay. So I'll have the owl fly back to the rest of the group and sort of report what I hear. And Galen would probably suggest that they just charge in. You know, there's 3 of them. There's more of us. So I feel like he grew up on a farm, so he's got kind of like that southern boy genuineness and simple-mindedness to him. You know, if we outnumber them, we just charge in. I don't see a problem with that.
Cataris grins.
I give him a fist bump.
So, what do you guys decide you want to do? Do you want to move in? I mean, go ahead and order yourselves as you would be ordered. You should be able to move your characters around. Can move their tokens. They're there. Yeah, I called them tokens. This isn't that other terrible virtual tabletop software. This is Fantasy Grounds, which is far better.
I mean, it has a whole token section.
Right. Okay, so, alright, cool. So, are you guys in the order you'd like to be in?
Yeah.
Alright, so who...
Hey, Brian,
who-
hold your push to talk just a second or longer, so the last word or so doesn't cut out. It's been happening with me
Sure.
too, I think.
Okay, so go ahead. So I mean, you guys are free to move up to kind of the lit area. You know, I guess, you know, kind of that last square before it seems to open up into the larger area. But you know, go ahead and situate yourselves in, you know, whatever order you'd like, and then I'll reveal some area to you. So again, just to confirm, you guys are, you know, in essence going to rush in. So, I mean, as soon as I open the area, we'll go ahead and roll some initiative. But
Okay.
is that clear?
Okay.
That is what you were intending to do?
Yes.
Clear.
Okay, here we go. Right. So everybody go ahead and roll initiative. And I'll tell you what you see here in a second. So the floor in this area is slick with what appears to be mud, except for the putrid odor it emits when it's disturbed. A small path carves through the bulk of the mud, leading to a passage to the east. As you enter, a loud roar is heard as a trio of giant lizards rock back onto their hind legs and stare you down. Here we go. And add those to the combat tracker. And that guy. There's our lizards. So everybody's got your initiative in, yes? Okay, so that means that Xanros, you are up first. So Xanros, what would you like to do?
I would like to target him. I'm gonna have to move forward to actually hit him though with a guiding bolt, ain't I?
I mean, you can measure the distance.
I mean, the distance there is just technically. I don't think I had a clear shot.
Oh yeah,
from
definitely,
here.
definitely didn't have a clear shot. And
All
then
right.
those center areas, those are obstructions, right? So, you know,
I don't think I'd have one where I'm at right now.
yeah. So that area that I just masked, which I'm unmasking, that's an obstruction. So you wouldn't be able to shoot the guy behind the rock.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but you'd be able to get the other two. So, all right.
Ooh.
Nice rolls.
A lot of damage.
I'll pass my turn.
All right, Senor Bobos, you are up next. What would you like to do?
I have an idea here. I'm going to move up 5. Wait, it's 60, right? Okay, 10, 15, 20, 25. I guess I'll have to stay there, but everybody else will rush ahead of me, I'm hoping. And I'm going to use Wand of Web and cast it at Giant Lizard 2 and 3 and just see if I can get both of them. It has it is anchored between those two walls, as you can see, sort of the stalactite in the center and then the southern wall. So it's a 20-foot radius, so I should be able to get both of them. If they and then when they start their turn in there, they'll make a dexterity saving throw or be restrained.
Yeah, go ahead and draw like a line or you know, an area, the area that is affected.
Okay, here we go. Drawing.
Hey Brian, I hate to ask this. I totally forgot I had to level up.
Okay.
May I use it?
Or
do you want me to just wait?
I mean, if you can do
I
it
don't mind
quick,
waiting.
if you can do it quick, go ahead and do it quick. But otherwise, you know, I mean, if it's going to take a while, then just hold off.
No,
That's
it'll
my
be
drawing
quick.
skills. That should be
Epic.
20 by 20.
Oh my goodness. I wasn't paying attention.
Very maybe. Yes.
No, that is.
I remember there is some way to make shakes, but I don't remember right now, and I'm having fun. So, anyway, so that has his concentration, and he's not going to use anything as a bonus action, and that was a wand. So, oh, I hope they don't come after me. I forgot to cast Mage Armor.
Each square is
5
5 feet. Okay.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. So Halrin, what would you like to do?
So I can move here. Is that what?
Yep.
That's within
Yep,
the
totally
reach
good.
of the
Yep.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he's a large creature, so he's takes up basically 4 of those squares.
Right.
So you can.
At my level, I only get 1 attack.
Yes.
Well, so monks
you
can.
could do an unarmed strike as a bonus action. There's a couple other things you could do as bonus action, or you could use a key point and do a flurry of blows to do 2 more unarmed strikes. So for free, you get 1 unarmed strike against the lizard as a bonus action if you want to use your bonus action on it.
I do.
There you go.
Nice.
Oh man. It falls unconscious. So that giant lizard is no more. So actually, before this giant lizard goes, you know, now that you're up close and personal, you notice these other guys, which were hanging out behind the giant lizards. And this guy is going to go first. So he is actually going to climb up on this giant lizard in front of him. And he's going to take a crossbow shot at Xanros. And he is going to miss. And that's all you can do. So now this lizard is going to move. So what was the effect? Sorry, in the beautifully drawn area that I'm looking at here.
I detect no hint of sarcasm.
No. So every creature that starts its turn, make a dexterity saving throw, and if on a failed save you're restrained. My thing is, I guess, 18. My difficulty class.
Okay. All right. So dexterity saving throw, huh?
Yes. Is it? Wait. No, wait. Hang on. The wand of web has a specific one.
Yeah.
It's DC 15. Sorry.
All right. And again, dexterity save or
Dexterity.
dexterity check?
Dexterity saving throw.
Oops. Oh, first one was a 17. So this guy is unaffected. He is going to move up to there. And he's going to try to attack Halrid with a bite attack. Oh, that's a critical hit. 1d4 lizard folk show up looking to steal pizza. Okay. Alright, so never mind that, but it is a critical hit. And so here is the damage. So Halrin is going to take 13 points of piercing damage from that lizard's bite. That does not make Halrin feel very good. So, and that's all the lizard, or sorry, the giant lizard is going to do. This guy, he is not currently in the affected area, so he's going to go. He's going to move up to here, and he's going to fire a crossbow bolt at Xanros. And here we go. And he is going to miss horribly. This guy also is going to move to here, and he is going to use his hooked spear on Halrin. So here's the hooked spear. And that is a miss. Katarus, you are up.
So Katarus is he's gonna kind of smash his shield, which is like his signature move, and he's gonna go straight at the nearest Darrow to try to cut him with his axe.
By the way, did that Darrow in the web make a save?
No, but he didn't succeed in what he wanted to do anyway. So, had he succeeded, I would have gone and re-rolled. If he failed, I would have just negated it. But he didn't do anything officially. So, did that? Okay, so that looks like a hit.
Nice chunky hit.
Yeah. All right. 4 points of slashing damage.
And that's it for Keteris.
All right.
Galen's like been, rolling up his sleeves carefully, making sure everything's properly buttoned. Part of his whole personality is that he always makes sure he's looking his best when he goes into battle, making sure his hair is in place and whatever. Before charging in, 5, 10, 15, and going against Giant Lizard 2. And he's gonna use his glaive. Nice. And he's going to use a bonus action to attack with the other side.
Blunt end.
Blunt end of it, yes. That's a hit.
It's a hit
Up
as well.
to-
Highest of armor class.
I don't have a thing either.
D4. So it's a D4
Yeah.
plus your strength.
D4 plus 4, yeah. So 8 extra damage.
On which? Giant Lizard 2?
On Lizard 2, yeah.
Okay. Does not make him feel good at all.
Alright. And yeah, that'll be the end of my turn.
He is going to try to return the favor. He's just going to shift himself into a slightly better position. Just kind of here. I guess here. And he is going to take a nice bite out of Galen. That is a miss. He is unsuccessful as he desperately snaps his jaws in Galen's direction, but Galen nimbly dodges out of the way. So just a reminder for folks watching, we do use the benefits of the virtual tabletop to have dynamic initiative. So every round, initiative is re-rolled. So if you were last, you can be first. If you were first, you can be last. So we're in round 2 of this combat, and at the top of the initiative order is Xanros. Xanros, you're up. Go ahead. What would you like to do?
Root, top of initiative, 2 times in a row. I'm going to actually move over this way to attack the Darrow. Going to swing my staff at him.
All right. That is a hit.
Alright. And I'm actually going to, if I need to, use my extra attack ability now that I get on each attack.
All right. So that is 7 points of damage to that Darrow. He appears to still be up, though.
Alright, I'm going to use my extra attack.
Okay. There's another hit. Oh, and he goes down.
Nice.
There he goes.
Alright.
Boom.
Pass my turn.
Bye. All right.
So Keteris will step up into the area that's clear now and take a swing at that giant lizard.
Okay.
Good, I got Lizard 2 down here.
Nice.
There we go. Critical hit. Go ahead and
Okay.
roll your damage.
Here we go.
Oh, you'll have to roll a d6 and figure out what ability check you have advantage on.
Go ahead and roll a d6, and until the end of a next long rest, you'll get advantage on one ability check for that type. So strength, dex, con. So Constitution. So any Constitution check between now and your next long rest, you have advantage. All right, Galen. Galen, you're up.
Galen's still targeting the giant lizard, and he's going to try to finish him off. With his glaive, saying, "You don't steal people's booze."
Nice.
Down
And
he
then,
goes.
can I move up to Darrow 3 and use my bonus action against him?
That is the webbed area. Actually,
Oh, right.
so
I'm in it, I think. No, am I? No, not quite. I'm on the edge of it. So I'm going to throw a hand axe at him. No, I can't. Not with a bonus action. I'm going to... end my turn.
okay. So this Darrow is
Make
going
up
to
One of
now
those hand indications.
is going to make his dexterity save. And he's going to fail. So remind me again of the failure effect.
So it's restrained.
Restrained. Okay, perfect.
And if you're restrained, you can use your action to make a strength check against DC 15.
That's exactly what he's going to do. So, and he's unsuccessful there too. He's not exactly the strongest of creatures, so he's going to stay restrained. Perfect. He's restrained. Alright, Darrow 2 is not restrained. He is going to make a hooked spear attack against Halrin. Here it comes. And that is a miss. So you are up.
Phobos is going to target the restrained character. Does restrained give you advantage on attack rolls?
May? I'm not sure. Hold on. Just go ahead and make the attack if it's with advantage.
Okay.
Yes,
Hey!
it is. There
Look
it
at
is.
that. And it hits, thank God. And then 2d8 cold damage.
Another benefit of the
Look at
virtual tabletop.
I love that sound effect.
All right. I'm gonna go for this lizard. And then I can still use my bonus action to do an unarmed strike, right?
Correct. And then if you choose to use a key point, you could do something else. You didn't target him with that for some reason.
That's weird. He still looks targeted on my screen.
It says hit.
Oh, it was out of order. Sorry. On my screen, it showed up out of order. But yes, it was a hit. Sorry, go ahead.
Showed out of order on my screen too, that's weird.
Oh. So if I roll damage right now, will it apply to him? Okay.
There he goes. Alright. That giant lizard is dead. Darrow 2. Situation's looking kind of bleak for him. He's going to make a break for it. He's going to try to run, which means Halrin is going to get an opportunity attack. Cataris is going to get an opportunity attack, and if he happens to make it past both of those, he'll try to get away. So go ahead, guys, and make your opportunity attacks.
Is he moving south or north?
He is moving south and then east.
So since my glaive is 10 feet, I do have Polar Master, so I should be able to get an attack against him too.
So with an attack of opportunity, am I still rolling to hit or do damage?
Yes, you're still rolling to hit. You're just making one attack against him.
I didn't target him.
not have him targeted. So this is Darrow 2.
Darrow 2, is that the right
Yep.
one?
Yep.
Okay. So should I roll to hit again?
14, I think a 14 hits him. We'll just go ahead and, hang on, let me just double check, make sure that actually hits him. And it does, so go ahead and roll damage against him. Bam, okay. He didn't like that at all. So now he's gonna move up to here, which means, yes, Galen and, so Cataris, you first, then Galen. Take an opportunity attacks from everybody. Alright, that's a hit.
Okay.
Right, an additional 4 damage. Taking that at all. Galen, go ahead. Hit. He is no mas.
Nice.
Finishes him off. He desperately tries to make a break for it, and you put him down as he's trying to run away. Senior Bobos, we still got that one Darrow who seems to be inept and caught in the web. But other than that, all of his buddies are gone.
Willis is still targeting him, so he's gonna try that same Ray of Frost again. Hit.
Man. He just
Doing work.
so why don't you go ahead and describe that one to us? I mean, he's there, he's trapped in the web. You hit him with one Ray of Frost, follow it up with another. I mean, what happens to you when you're subject to back-to-back Rays of Frost?
The first Ray of Frost noticeably chilled and stiffened some of the webbing around him, but it didn't have the same dramatic effect as the second one. The second one sort of shattered it and all the webbing around it sort of in a beautiful, almost beautiful explosion of snowflake shaped kind of things, and an explosion of arcane power. And the dwarf creature, beard, just one solid triangle snapping off, falls to his knees, collapses, and shatters into many pieces.
Beautiful. All right. So now that the lizards and the Darrow are dead, what did you guys want to do? Passageway leading to the east. Again, I mentioned the floor in here is kind of slick with, quote unquote mud, or what resembles mud. But when you step in it and disturb it, it releases a putrid odor.
Nasty.
So
Cataris wants to scan around the room though to see if there's any items of value.
interesting. Okay.
Casting mage armor on myself real quick, by the way.
Yeah, you find some stuff of value. So the Darrow seem to be carrying, some stuff. They've got the weapons that they had. I'll go ahead and drop it in the party sheet for you guys. So I've made up a parcel, and I'll drop all this up in the into the party sheet, so you guys can go ahead and divvy that up. Can I assume that you want to divvy the coins evenly?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think so.
Object to even distribution of coins?
Nope.
Cataris is good with equals.
I feel like I grab a couple of spears and I toss one to Cataract. And I say, maybe next time we can get the drop on them, chuck a couple of spears at them and run towards.
Cataris
Alright.
grins.
Awesome. Thanks for hosting Playforth. So I'll go ahead and distribute the goods here. So now I've given you guys all the coins. There are 3 silver pieces that remain. You guys can fight over those. The one thing that is particularly of interest is one of the Duro is carrying a map case, or it looks like a map case or a scroll tube. In this particular case, it is a map case. In it, there is a piece of parchment that is torn in half. There is some writing on it that that you guys can try to take to evaluate. But it looks like it is whatever it is incomplete. So you have half of whatever it is. It shows some. It shows some areas just in kind of loose detail. I.e., this area leads to that area, leads to that area, and they're defined by small pictographs. But you think that in order to be able to actually decipher, you're gonna have to try to find the other half of this thing. So that is that in that case map or scroll, that half map is in there. So go ahead and make a note of that on your character sheet, whoever takes that you have half a map.
Could you pass a spare to Cataris?
Pass a spear?
Yes.
Oh, you can just grab it. Just drag it from the party sheet onto your inventory. So just go ahead and grab whatever you want. There you go.
Thank you.
Yep. So there's some light crossbows, some crossbow bolts, and then that map case is still there. So somebody go ahead and grab that.
If I'm in drawing mode, how do I erase all?
That is a good question. I don't know if it's going to be all that important here in a minute because we're about to move on. But
True.
yeah, next time just maybe draw the square. So use
take a
the
crossbow.
You use the pointer tool versus the drawing tool to draw a square.
It's very difficult.
Beautiful. That looks great.
My erasing is even better than my draw. So,
All right. So that's what you find. There, as I mentioned, there is a passageway leading to the east, and you guys could head in that direction. You also do take note that your party member Halrin does look kind of beat up from that bite he took from one of those lizards. He's not in terrible shape, but if you notice, the extension that I'm using actually does put blood indicators on the characters when they are at various stages of injury, so just be mindful of that. So where would you guys like to go? I see Cataris is making his way over there. Everybody else is going to join him.
Yep.
I think so.
Okay, so as you get here, I've got to reveal some areas, so just bear with me for a second. Okay, so there's a large tunnel that kind of bulges and then turns to the south. And so, you can see that. But that's as far as you'll be able to see with the light source that you have now. And for those of you that have dark vision, I mean, once you hit that curve, that's about as far as you'll be able to see. So you're free to advance kind of to that point, and then I'll start to, I'll let you know as there's more to be seen.
As long as Galen's behind me with the torch, I can move forward.
Yeah, I'll make sure we keep an eye on each other.
So you guys go ahead and feel free to advance up to, where the edge of that area is revealed. All right, cool. So as you make your way past that area, which you presume was kind of the pens where they kept the lizards, you notice that the smell of the mud, quote unquote, that you were experiencing before, and for those of you that aren't getting the mud, even though I've kind of given a few hints, it was lizard feces. But the smell of the mud is almost kind of immediately, like as you turn to the south, is replaced by a strong smell of oil. And as you kind of proceed further down this hallway, the smell of that mud kind of fades away, and a very strong smell of like a petroleum-based oil begins to take hold of you guys. Like you smell it. It's very prominent. So much so that you start to think about whether or not it makes sense to carry a torch in here.
Yeah.
That's a question. Do you want to continue to walk with the torch, or do you want to seek alternative lighting?
Don't have a cantrip or a scroll or anything.
You're just gonna have to press your luck. Okay then. So.
Oh.
Right.
Shoot.
Be careful.
Okay.
All right, cool. So you guys.
Hang on, I do have a bullseye lantern.
Okay.
Does that help? It does burn oil, but it is kind of enclosed, so maybe it'll be okay.
It's not completely enclosed though, because it needs to keep getting oxygen to burn, unless it's a magic item. So the atmosphere is getting in. So
Still
who
better than
has
open
dark
fire.
vision? Who is it that
I
has
do.
dark vision?
Xanros, my owl does. Cinnamon.
I get behind Xanros and put my hands on his shoulder. No, the back of his ankles, I guess.
It's a Congo line now.
Yeah, behind his knees maybe. Yeah, or his belt line or something.
Yeah, I loop a finger into his belt.
Makes sense. All right. So so what do you want to do? Do you want to proceed with the torch? Do you want to try the lantern? Do you want to just wing it with no light? Up to you guys.
I can try to. Bobos can kind of use his owl to kind of keep an eye on him, and he'll flip back and forth. So we can see, move 3 steps to the left and then 4 steps ahead, whatever. That's how he's gonna play it.
I can move it to the front.
That might be a good idea too. Wait, no, this is stupid. Xanros, go to the front, and we'll just use rope. We'll all hang on to the rope. And we'll continue on, and you just, let us know if there's anything that we need to draw our swords for.
Okay.
And then if we need to, we'll, doesn't guiding bolt make a little bit of light? We'll figure it out. I'll cast fireball at the opportune moment.
Yeah, wait for everybody to get in the room and then drop a fireball. It'll work great.
Sell all their stuff, retire.
That's it. There you go. Okay, so sorry, just so that I'm
I really
absolutely
think
positive.
Best idea to tie.
Go ahead.
I think it's best that we get some rope and hang onto the rope and use that to try move forward if you have no dark.
So you're gonna basically tether to Xanros and use his dark vision.
That's my best idea.
No other light source.
No other light source.
The group agree with that?
I mean, I'm okay with it.
Okay. Okay, so here we go. I'm gonna reveal some area, and then I'll let you know what you see. So the passageway continues to the south.
I follow wherever Xandros leads.
That's my plan.
Did he cut out for anybody else?
A little bit, yeah.
Yep.
The passageway narrows, so what you will have to go single file through. So
I'm going to do a stealth check at this point.
I'm sure you'll be super stealthy with the rest of the party tied to the back of you.
Do I feel super stealthy?
Sure, yeah. No, totally.
Galen smacks into a wall. Pump.
You feel super stealthy with the, chainmail wearing dragonborn and the and the let's see, chainmail wearing human fighter dragging behind you. So he's just like shh, shh, shh. Meanwhile, you're like, I'm trying to sneak. Shut up.
I'm
What?
real quick here. Where is it? I'm gonna use Cure Wounds real quick on Halvern. Isn't that +3? No, maybe I'm thinking different. Okay.
Should be a plus.
Your life?
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, life domain.
Should be plus an additional 3, I think, or 4 if you're what cleric
It's
level?
3, I believe. Only level 1.
So Halrin, you're gonna take a total of 10 back versus 7. Did you catch that? I'm saying you're recovering 10 instead of 7. So Xanros cast Cure Wounds on you. It did 7, so you get an additional 3. So go ahead and make note of that.
Oh, neat.
Right. So, all right. So go ahead and move up. You can move up as far as the revealed area if you'd like. When you get to about, you'll be able to kind of peek into the room. And if that's what you'd like to do, then go ahead and give me a perception check, and I'll let you know what you see. You don't see anything. No. Actually, what you do see is you see. Hang on. As you approach this area, the smell of mud from the previous is replaced by that of oil. It smells so strongly of oil that concerns of spontaneous combustion leap into your minds. Peering into the room, you see a large mechanical device and what appears to be a dwarf working on it. So I'll just go ahead and reveal those guys now because reasons. Okay, so hold on. Just boop-a-doo. There we go. So the D is the device, and standing next to it is the dwarf-looking creature. Bald head, gray skin, and he appears to be working on this device. The device appears to be the source of the oily smell. There is a pool of oil that surrounds it, and he is actively applying oil to it. Let me reveal the room. And across from him, there appears to be a further passage that heads west, kind of northwest. There you go.
Can I perform an insight check on the dwarf-like creature?
Sure. I mean, what are you trying to perceive?
Just to kind of perceive if he seems hostile or not.
He
Like, if we
doesn't
were
seem to
coming-
have noticed you. So I mean, if he
Okay.
noticed you, he would be reacting. He hasn't noticed you yet.
You know what? I'm going to move in one more square for now, tied to the group.
Okay. So group, go ahead and move up accordingly. If you're going to do anything hostile, we're going to roll initiative. But if there's anything else you want to do before we do that, then let me know what it is. The only one that can see him right now. Everybody else is
Okay.
pretty much in pitch black.
So realistically, my plan was to untie myself from the group to sneak behind him, not to attack, but to get the drop on him. Like, who are you? That was my plan.
Okay. As soon as you untie yourself and move closer to him, we'll roll initiative.
Oh.
Yeah, there's no surprise round, right? Like you may still be able to do that if you get ahead of him in initiative, which is very possible. But there is no surprise per se. Like in previous editions, like you're not gonna have a surprise round. That's not how it works.
Okay. I mean, at that point, really, as I start to move forward.
Still going to untie yourself from the rest of the group?
No, I'm not. Not at that point. I'm just going to move forward. I guess I could warn the group, couldn't I?
I mean, that might be a nice thing to do.
Hey guys, there's something up ahead. We might want to strike up a torch.
Something.
You sure?
Yeah.
YOLO.
Yeah, run in there in the
I
pitch
mean,
black.
I can see, so your call.
Galen lights up a torch and throws it into the.
Yeah, as soon as you light the torch, the dwarf reacts. What is that? And he.
This!
Everybody roll
I chuck him.
initiative.
Oh,
Roll
okay.
initiative. All right, Senor Bobos, you are up first. So the torch roars to life, illuminating the general area. And what you see is the rear end of a silver dragonborn. What would you like to do?
What's going on over there? And I try to jump up and see. I'm gonna go 20 here,
Okay.
and
A gray-skinned dwarf and a kind of, I guess maybe, a device, some kind of device that he's standing next to currently. But as I mentioned before, it looks like he was previously working on. So he's got tools in his hands right now.
Well, I'm going to cast a suggestion on him, and he's got to make a wisdom saving throw. But unfortunately, I think he's going to roll an 11. I rolled the couple of portent numbers in Discord earlier.
Okay.
So I think it's versus a DC 16 or 17 or something like that. So it should be okay.
Yep.
He should be
He
suggested.
would fail.
And what I'd like to do is tell him, describe to us this device and its operation.
So he'll do that. So he basically tells you this is I'll just say it as him. This is a Durgar hammer. It's a device we use for mining and for destroying structures.
Gonna be destroying some structures soon, huh? Keeping it oiled up like that? Think you're using enough?
We use it frequently. It is a siege device.
I see. Does it require alcohol in any way?
It operates on oil.
Okay. Well, I'm pretty sure the spell ends. So, thank you. I appreciate it.
You are most welcome. I consider myself a very pleasant Dwergar.
You are very pleasant. Companions and I will just be moving on to reclaim some property, if you don't mind.
That's the end of your spell.
Yes.
Okay. So when you're ready, just go ahead and pass your turn.
Okay.
Alright, cool. So what he is going to do on his turn is he's actually going to climb into this device. You notice, mostly you, Bobos, that, he lifts up like a hatch and he climbs in, and when he climbs in, he puts his arms and legs in it, closes the hatch, and it kind of slams down, and the device kind of roars to life. You hear like as it starts to move, and as it starts to move, you notice it's got two large like digging claws, and it's got a hammer. It's got two claws, and then it's got a third arm that has a large hammer attached to it. It just kind of stands up, and it's almost like, I mean, it's hard to describe, but it kind of looks like a Durgar like mech suit, more or less, right? And so he stands up, and that's going to be his turn, and then I'm going to act on the suit's turn. So I'm actually just going to hide him because he is within the suit, and pass the turn to Zenro. So he will go ahead and move on the Hammerer's turn. Zenros, what would you like to do now, just having watched this whole scene go down?
I'm going to stand back a bit, and I'm gonna move forward, of course, but I'm going to attack. Oh, I stopped moving stuff. Attack it with a cantrip of Sacred Flame.
missed his saving throw. He failed his saving throw.
Nice.
7 points of radiant damage. All right, Galen. What does Galen like to do?
Galen is gonna
Galen might
go.
Thinking about it like as if it's a dating
Yeah.
service. Like, what would he
Yeah.
like to do at this very moment?
Take the Dwagar hammer out in a moonlit night. I mean, he's
A long
really into
walk
this
on the
looking,
on the shore of the Sea of Stars here in the Underdark.
Look, it's a pretty sweet looking machine. If he was a dwarf, he would probably be into it, but he's
It does
not,
look like a
so-
sweet machine.
So, I would like to. I'm the one holding the torch, and I would like to throw it at the construct.
At it.
Correct. Surrounded in oil. So what would that be? Like a strength check or a dexterity check, or I don't really have a torch action to throw?
No,
spear,
I mean, so what are you intending to do? Just light the oil?
The torch is lit. I wanna chuck it at the construct, because if there's a high concentration of oil around it, it might catch on fire.
Sure. So yeah, I mean, just a standard ranged attack. So, I mean, does he have any ranged weapons?
Yeah, it's got a spear.
So
that
if
uses
you
strength.
just if you do like a hand axe, but don't roll the hand axe damage, just go ahead and do the hand axe attack. Okay. So
Wow.
so it does not hit him, but I will give it a. I mean, it's a pretty big pool of oil. I'll give it a 50-50 chance. So go ahead and roll.
D4.
Yeah. So.
Hey.
So I will say that it does spark the pool of oil. Let me go ahead and draw a circle where the pool of oil would be. So that
You guys don't mind not being able to punch it, right?
area is now on fire. Go ahead and roll me a d6, and I will apply that as fire damage. Okay. So it takes some fire damage. The dwarf inside, or the Duragar inside, reacts to the fire, and is visibly bothered by the fact that it is now standing in a pool of fiery oil.
I yell out, "We're not fucking around, dwarf!"
Runs back by saying, "I am from the house Duragar. Dwarves are inferior. We'll soon see."
So Cataris, now that it's more lit, he's going to move up to the front. And he will throw that spear he recently grabbed.
Hit.
And the damage. That's it.
Right. Okay, so the hammerer is going to get out of this fiery death trap that it currently is standing in, and he's going to move forward to here.
Right into my polearm opportunity attack.
Absolutely. Have at it.
Boom. That's how you hit these stupid things. Yeah.
That is some good damage. All right, so it is going to attack the polearm master for causing it damage. There is going to start with. So first is the claw, and that is a hit. and 3 points or 6 points, sorry, bludgeoning damage. And then follow that up with the hammer. That also is a hit.
Oh, Jesus.
And 11 points of damage from the hammer, as it just makes this combination of attacks with it's raking across you with the claw. It's almost like a small version of, like a bobcat, or like a backhoe, where it's got this claw on it. So it rakes across you with a claw, and then follows that up with just a brutal hit to the head with with this large hammer. That is going to be its turn. Halrin, you are up. So just I'm going to keep that area there covered until the fire burns out. Halrin, what would you like to do?
I'm gonna move up to there.
And just a reminder, we do use flanking rules. So, if you are directly diagonal or directly across from, so if you and a teammate are directly across from one another, you do get advantage on your attack rolls. And that is to inspire, teamwork and, tactical combat. So if you were to move an additional 5 feet, I would say that you would be unaffected by the fire. You'd be able to stand kind of away from it a bit. But you could potentially be flanking this Duragar Hammerer with Xanros and get advantage on your attack rolls.
All right,
Right there.
I'll take it.
Ooh, man.
I'm
Not so great. A 4 and a 5. Drop the 4. The 5 wasn't going to cut it. Would you like to make an unarmed attack as a bonus action?
I would like to do that.
That too will be at advantage. Much better. So that 21 does hit. So go ahead and roll your unarmed strike damage. Oh, bam! Takes out the hammerer. Apparently finds a soft spot in the back of this machine. I guess let me kick it over to you. I mean, how would you say you took this thing out?
Just the regular old punch to the ankle. Ankle shatters. Off goes that one. It's not a muscle. What is it? It's that tendon. in the
Achilles
back.
tendon.
Penis.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one.
Yours is on the
severs
back
at
of
the
your
ankle,
leg.
and it shoots up towards the knee with such force that he just can't take the pain, and the mental anguish is what kills him. That's what did it.
No doubt. So basically the machine falls to the ground, and since he was kind of trapped inside, he's kind of pinned now in the machine. Like, he himself is not dead. The machine is out of commission. But he is trapped inside this machine. It is, the little hatch that he had to climb into is now kind of pinned to the ground, and he is going to try to get out on his next turn, but the machine itself is out of commission. So, anything else that you can do or want to do on your turn, Halrin?
No, that's the end.
Okay.
Of it. Let me.
Go ahead and pass. Guess what? Again, I mentioned random initiative. You are up first. Now, what you can? Yeah, there you go. You can target him from within, so you can see him in there. He's not. He doesn't have 100% cover. You can target him within the device. So you can go ahead and make an attack. And with advantage, I mean, you already have advantage because you're flanking, but because he is prone, so let me go ahead and apply the prone condition to him, just because. All right. Some good damage there.
I would like to use my bonus action still.
Of course. All right, that's another hit. Solid punch. Damn.
Nice.
Doing some work. All right, Senor Bobos. He is. I mean, I described the situation to you. He's pinned in this machine. He is laying on the ground. Howrin is just kicking his ass while he's on the ground. What do you like to do?
You
It
could
looks
do
like
it.
he could use an ice cold ray. Ah, but he
Oh,
misses. That's too bad. But
man.
maybe it puts out a little bit of the fire, you know?
Yeah, I mean, so let me. There you go. The fire recedes.
That's
a
what I
bit.
totally meant to do. Look, you know,
Absolutely, completely understand.
I take off my pointy wizard's hat and I put on my fireman hat.
All right, Caterus.
So Caterus is going to yell at him,
Thanks for
"Welcome to
following us,
hell!"
Luke.
as he swings.
Yeah. Okay.
And here comes the damage.
All right. Galen. Galen is up.
Galen is gonna try to make up a catchphrase as well, but he's still kind of new at this, so eventually he ends up just going, hi? And he swings his
Alright.
glaive. And he misses,
Man.
but he's gonna
These
He's gonna
attacks with
try the
advantage just coming up
bonus
short.
action. Yeah, man.
Just jab him with the blunt end of the stick. Like that. That finds home.
Yeah, since I rolled a 1. Alright, let's see. That's gonna be
All right.
3, 7.
Edit that.
I will.
Alright.
Yeah.
7.
Change that up real quick.
Okay. All right. He appears to be in pretty bad shape.
Alright.
So,
Good.
Xenros. Xenros is going to take his turn. You know. So I mean, Xenros, why don't you tell me, like, I mean, how are you attacking this guy? Like, what are you going to use to attack this guy?
I'm gonna use my staff of healing to smack him right in the face.
Okay. Cool.
So we'll see how this turns out.
And that's
Oh.
it. He's
Nice.
done. No more Durgar. So yeah, so you know, now that the construct, the device, is damaged, and the Durgar within it is dead, what would you guys like to do? Like I said, there's a, you know, so the fire is, you know, pretty much under control. I mean, you can pretty easily navigate around it. There's a hallway leading to the west that, you know, that you can see. And then this appears to be the workshop of the, you know, the Durgar who, you know, who worked on this device.
Well, I'd like to heal myself real quick for 7 damage out of 10. So I touch myself.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm going to search the Dragar, so I'll give you a perception check.
So you're gonna, okay.
Also have a potion of healing that I'd like to down real quick. So 2d4 plus 2.
I can heal you real quick if you want. I have charges on my staff. Save your
Oh,
potion.
thanks. Yes, please.
All right. So so you search the Durgar, and you find some stuff, and I'll put it in the party sheet for you. But basically, the gist is you find 85 gold and some tinker's tools. Well, there we go. put that stuff in the party sheet for you guys. You can find it there. And again, I presume we're still good with the evenly distributed gold.
Yep.
Yes, indeed.
Been applied. So there we go. So just remember, at the end of the session, anything that is left in the party sheet at the end of the session that nobody takes will be lost. So please do, the way I operate is, I drop all the stuff in the party sheet. Take what you want. If you don't take it, at the end of the session, it's lost. It's not something you can get back. As I mentioned the last time, though, that map or scroll case, somebody's going to want to take that. So whoever that is, I don't know, figure it out. If somebody did, cool. All right, Senor Bobos has it. But I will, I will ultimately be
Clearing it out.
So I'm going to award you some XP for that. Let me also award you some XP for the first combat here real quick. Little XP action.
Ooh.
Bam. Award that. Boom. Look at that. XP all over the place. All right, cool. So, okay, so that's pretty much it, in this area. And so, as I mentioned, the hallway north. So there you go. All right, so the area here is illuminated by the fire on the floor, but the torch is being consumed like en masse by the oil. So if you want to move on and you want to use a torch, you'll need a new torch. That you're not going to be able to pull that torch out of that oil and continue to use it. I mean, you could, if you want to take some fire damage.
I would like to suggest our previous plan. I'll move forward and we can tie off again.
Yeah, sure. At least until we get to a place that's less oily, and then we can just light it. Or a bullseye lantern.
Caterus is fine with this plan.
Let's move forward.
Forward.
Yep, and I'm gonna roll a stealth check real quick. Hope I feel stealthy.
Sure.
Alright, that doesn't sound too happy about that one. Alright.
Right. So why don't you move up to and give me a perception check. Okay. So that's what you see. So you see what it looks as if the passageway kind of descends down a series of stairs, and at the bottom of the stairs, is total darkness. You can't see. You can see that there is a stairwell here, but you can't see kind of down into it from where you are. So go ahead and arrange the rest of the group, behind Xanros as you guys would want to proceed. And just so that I'm clear, we are foregoing additional light, yes? Or are we using a lantern or a torch?
What is the oil seeming to be like dripping down the stairs?
No. So the oil seems to be relatively contained to that workshop area. As you kind of, as this hallway kind of bends, it's only trace amounts at this point. The smell begins to subside actually a little bit.
Well, Bubba's just gonna pull out his bullseye lantern then.
I think that's a good idea.
Right. Going
With-
to from the back of the group.
Yes, and illuminate them like
So that anything else
be a
in the
couple feet
cave
off to the
structure
side.
would be able to get a good look at them.
They can see Cataras
Why
come.
don't I hand it to Galen here,
All right.
or possibly Cataras?
I mean, so you guys all know, y'all went to adventurer school, right? Your light source should be, middle at worst, front at best. Just so that, especially a bullseye lantern, which is directional, because then you can actually focus the beam. It isn't an omnidirectional device, it's a focused beam device. And if it's behind everybody's going to cast shadows through it, right? Which is going to mean that your overall ability to view in front of you is going to be limited, because everybody's shadow is going to block the visible light coming from the lantern, unless you kind of hold it over your head.
I'll hand it to somebody else.
So
Cataras.
we'll
I have a shield in one hand, which I would think is like mounted on my forearm.
Okay. Well, Galen has his glaive in one hand, so he'll hold the bullseye lantern in the other.
Okay.
and we'll untie ourselves from each other.
Well,
And this
hang
is
on.
this is
let's
about
not,
to be fun.
Yeah,
Yeah, leave everybody tied
one
up.
second. Counterpoint.
Are you ready, lads?
Yep. Let's do this.
All right. So yes, you can proceed to the top of the stairs. As you get to the top of the stairs, you shine the light down and you see what appears to be a small landing at the bottom, and then subsequently another set of stairs climbing back up on the opposite side of the landing.
I see. So it kind of goes underneath the floor that we were just on a few minutes ago. So we should be able to. I'll walk down there. I got no problem with that. And across, I guess, like here.
And you come out on the other side.
Nice.
So here, I'll reveal a little bit more here. Okay. Emerging from the darkness, you find yourselves peering into an oddly shaped alcove. Passage continues to the south, and the sounds of chains rattling and muffled breathing can be heard in the eastmost section of this room. I'll show you what I'm talking about. Area somewhere. Do you hear what sounds like muffled breathing and chains rattling?
Maybe we should check it out.
Maybe it would be a good idea for Cinnamon to check it out, the owl. See what he can see over there with dark vision. Well, Galen's already there. It might be shining right on him. Do I see anything?
Yeah. You give me a perception check.
All right. Not great.
No, you think you may, I don't know, you hear the chains rattling, like, so there's, it almost seems like maybe there's something chained up over there. but it's just like whatever it is kind of behind this rocky structure here, this rocky area, so you can't really get a good look at it, and you feel like because now you're casting light in its general direction, it may actually be cowering.
I yell out, Burndale, is that you?
No Burndale here.
Oh, don't worry, we're friends. We're here to rescue you. If you're Burndale.
No, Muffus is my name.
Oh, why do they have do they have you chained up? I'll sort of approach here, 10, 15 to see if I can actually see him. Office.
So yeah, so I mean, you kind of get a glimpse of him. He's kind of hiding behind the rock, and you notice he is a Darrow, like the ones you fought in the beast pens, the lizard pens when he first came in. He is a Darrow, but he is chained to the wall, and he's kind of hiding his eyes from the light. He's like, no, I don't need that.
And I sort of turn it away from him and say, why are you chained up back here?
Please, do you have any food? I have been chained here for five cycles. I'm quite hungry.
I'll give him some of my rations. A day's rations. And
information I can provide. I need to eat, but I can be of help. I know what's going here. I know things. You give me food and set me free, and I will tell you all the things you need to know.
Oh, what things do you know? Do you know where our friend is being kept?
Yes, I know other things too. Important things.
Cataris would like to insight check the Darrow.
Make the roll.
All right.
He seems to be like he is not trying to deceive you. He honestly feels as if he knows things that will help you, and he will share them with you if you free him and give him some food. If you've already given him some food, then that's half the way there. But he's willing to provide you some information, and he seems earnest in that, in exchange for his freedom and food, as I mentioned. He'll tell you things. And his name is Moffus. Moffus.
I turn to Cataris. What do you think? Should we set him free?
I believe this creature is too pathetic to be a threat to us.
No threat. I am no threat. See? No weapons. I have nothing. All I have is one thing in my pocket. Them to you.
Yeah, and I have a mighty big glaive, so you just watch your step.
Very scary. You would kill me very fast. I don't want to die. I want leave. I want to live. I want to go back to other family. And
that's what we want for you too. So I'll
I have something in my pocket which will be very special, which will help you.
Don't reach into that pocket. I've fallen for that before.
Set me free and I will give it to you. Okay. If you will let me go, I will tell you about where there is a large treasure. And in my pocket I have the key.
Don't know I have the key. They are looking for the key.
Oh. All right. Well,
But I also know where the dwarf is. The one from the town. Dwarf is. And I will tell you.
all right. Just one more question before we set you free. Answer us one question, and then we'll set you free, so you can
No
answer
more questions. I have already given you too much. Either you want my information and you will set me free, or you do not and you will kill me anyway. So, thank you for the food. Now set me free.
All right. Looking to the others for any objections, I'll start to set him free.
As he sets him free, I'm going to move down one spot.
Does anybody
All right.
object with setting him free?
No.
Nope.
Once, twice, sold. He has been set free. And as the chains fall off of his wrists, he rubs his wrists and he says,
Thank you very much. You have done a nice thing today. I am not your enemy. I am as much a prisoner here as your dwarf friend. The Dwergar, they enslave my people, make us tend to their beasts and clean up their messes. I do not want to be here. I was taken from my village. But here, as promised, I have this key for you.
and he hands you. Hold on, I will put it in the party sheet. He hands you a key.
And he says, this key will open the chests. In the chests are Kashal's treasures. Very powerful Kashal. He's a very powerful wizard. He does many magics. And in his chest is many things, powerful things. I can't touch them. But I can touch the key. And I took the key. But I know I cannot get to the chest. He will kill me if I get close. If he knows I have been let go, he will kill me. And so I give this key to you.
Well, you can run off back the way we came because we cleared the place out of enemies. Cleared this place out of you folk and anybody who'd notice you.
I know my brothers. Hey, they only would have been doing their job. They are very protective of the lizards, and they would have fought to protect them. This is why I was chained up. I lost my lizard in the last raid. And Kashal did not forgive me for this. He chained me up and said I would have to go without food until they find a new lizard for me to care for. Otherwise, I am worthless. And as a worthless Darrow, they chain me to the wall. And if they don't find another lizard before I starve to death, then that's what happens. So I am happy to have met you today.
And
One
how does
last
the
thing.
ale factor into all of this? How does the ale factor into all of this?
I don't know. They don't tell us things like this. They say we go here and do this, and we must tend to the lizards, and then we do these things. But we do not know the plans. Kashal is very powerful, very wise. He knows everything, so he is the one who makes the plans for the rest of the group. But we just do as we're told. or we wind up chained to the wall, like me. But I have one more thing to say. Kashal
What is it?
has dealings with the Drow. He trades slaves and goods stolen from the surface and other towns with the Drow.
Well, that's not good.
Sounds like we need to stop him.
Yeah, he probably means to sell our bartender, and that's something I cannot abide by.
Well,
Let's rescue him.
if there is nothing more that you need from me, I wish you luck and enjoy the treasures from the chest. I should go.
Go enjoy the treasures of your wife's chest.
Yes. I will leave then.
So he's gonna try to leave. Do you guys stop him from leaving?
I'm not going to.
I don't.
So
Zach,
he's
would you mind if we took like a short intermission here, like 10 minutes or something?
sure,
like that?
sure, yep. No, 1 minute. So he's going to head kind of down the stairs, down the other side, and and he gets out of view. So he is gone for all intents and purposes. Yeah, and we can go ahead and take a short intermission. So for those of you watching the stream, please stick around. We will be right back. Okay, folks, we are back. So thank you for sticking with us through the break. We appreciate it.
Okay, folks.
So I'm glad that you all kind of made it through the break. So we're just going to pick right back up where we left off. So we just finished setting the Darrow prisoner free. So what would you guys like to do now? Again, there's a passageway kind of winding to the southwest. Xanros is kind of standing right next to it. I'll reveal a little bit more of it here.
I say we head that way anyway.
There we go. So this winding passage leads south and turns sharply west. The further you proceed, though, the darker the area seems to become. So as you kind of stand where you are now, well, Senor Bobos needs to catch up to the
Oh,
group.
good call. Sorry about that. I was only moving
but
Galen.
as you guys proceed, you see that there seems to be this. There seems to be like this kind of bulge to the tunnel right here, so as you approach this, the tunnel. So, what are we doing for light right now? We're doing the bullseye lantern, and Cataris has it.
Yes.
Who has it?
So Galen will shift to the front so we can use the bullseye light.
All right. So even with the bullseye lantern focused in this area, it seems as if the light just kind of disappears. After the area that is revealed, right? So just kind of beyond this bulge.
Bulge.
If you look at the passageway here, it kind of bows out a little bit to the side, but just kind of right there in that area, the light seems to almost just get swallowed by the darkness, as if it's unnaturally dark.
Can I not see through it with dark vision either?
No, you can't see any further than there. It seems like that is kind of the edge of the light. So,
Continue down.
I mean, I could use detect magic, but that's been used my last spells.
Yeah. I don't think Bobos has a detect magic either, but he could do like an Arcana check or something like that.
sure.
See if there's anything strange. Alright. My owl is gonna help me now, I'm kidding. Don't need him anyway. I took a course on small, bulgy passageway.
Right. So, yeah, you can go ahead and give me an Arcana check. That works.
I did. Do you not see that?
I do. I see it now.
Oh, okay, sorry.
So yeah, so you get the sense that there is definitely, there's definitely something unusual about this area. It appears to be kind of latent magical energy from a spell that has kind of degraded over time but still exists. So you think perhaps at some point, this entire section of the tunnel was designed to be magically dark. But after some period of time, the magic has kind of degraded to where kind of only a section of the tunnel now is actually affected by the darkness. So, but the area right in front of this is kind of masked in shadow, less than shadow more so than dark. But it is still very difficult to see. But beyond that, yeah, there is in essence magical darkness.
Friends, it might be time for me to step forward.
There
All
may
right.
be traps ahead as well.
Are we in agreement?
Well,
Sure.
there could be traps. Couldn't there be?
There
I
could
have a
be.
I have a shield, and I'm a tough cookie.
I love cookies. Okay. You can go ahead.
All right. So as you begin to proceed, you definitely notice that you're about to proceed through an area which is which is magically dark, which means that kind of none of the methods that you're used to in terms of generating light are going to be very helpful at all. You presume that the best method for you to make progress down this tunnel is by feel. That sticking to one of the walls and kind of following it forward to where you can once you emerge from the magical darkness, find yourself in an area that is no longer warded by it. Based on your feel for the Arcana, you feel like it can't be that big. So 30, 40 feet maybe at most of magical darkness before you'll be able to once again use traditional light sources to light your way.
Okay, I'm going to lean against the wall with my shield out. And step forward slowly.
I'll
Okay.
toss a rope and try to get like a chain going back. It might be.
So we're going to tie off again.
Well, I think
Mhm.
I'm the only one who needs to be tied off.
Oh, we can all. There's no reason we all can't be tied up.
Your call on the back end.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what I always say about Greg.
Yeah, you know it.
All right, let's try to keep it family friendly. All right, so how do you want to handle the rope situation?
I mean, I'm cool with tying it off again.
I think that's the
Alright.
safest way to press forward. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right, so you're all going to kind of loop the rope around yourself at least, if not tie off.
Correct. I mean, we all don't have to go at one time, though. I mean, it could just be three of us, and then the other two could come along.
Okay. I mean, it's up to you. I mean, this is your story. It's not mine. So, how do you guys want to make your way forward?
So Xandros wants to join in and tying off.
Tying off works for me too.
Okay. So how about Halrin? Halrin, are you gonna tie off, or are you just gonna grab a belt loop like you did before?
I'll tie off.
Okay. So it sounds as if everybody's pretty much going to be tied off. That you're going to, in essence, create a a tow cable, and bring the rest of the party with you. As you make your way forward. So why don't you go ahead and start proceeding forward? I will reveal area. As you kind of feel your way along the walls. So go ahead. The rest of the party. Go ahead and get up to where he is. So, Cataris, just before you head into the darkness, go ahead and give me a perception check.
Okay.
And Bobos, give me an Arcana check, please.
All right.
All right. So, actually, you, Cataris, don't detect this, but Bobos, you detect that there appears to be some kind of warding on the floor right by Cataris's feet.
Cataris, hold. Bobo
I
says.
stop.
So
He says there might be a force field in front of you.
it appears that it's not so much a force field as it is a like a glyph used for that you think would trigger the alarm spell.
I see. Can you jump over it or something like that? I wonder.
So on the opposite side of it is just pure darkness. You feel like maybe, you could try to leap over it with a dexterity check, but you don't know what you're leaping into because on the other side of it is just blackness.
Well, who wants to be the guinea pig?
I'll do it.
Mr. Monk. Awesome.
So what are you guys gonna do?
I'm gonna jump through it. You want an acrobatics check or athletics? I have a +8. I'm not successful.
Nice.
And I fell as a monk.
Totally. Galen calls out, "Do you think you made it safely?"
Not quite.
Huh.
There, you are now standing on the glyph.
Thank you.
And so, what would you guys like to do now? Alarm is going to continue to ring.
No light source though, right?
Source. And Xanros, you are standing, basically half in light, half in darkness. You can't see anything down the hallway. Again, you're standing on the, on the glyph. So literally, as far as you can see, with the light focused on it, is what is revealed right now. Everything beyond is pitch black.
So okay, so even though I'm half and half, we're still in darkness.
You are half in darkness, half in light.
Oh, well, I mean, at that point, I can turn to the group and yell, "There's light ahead."
Well, no, there is no light ahead.
Oh,
You are half in darkness, half in light because you're like on the glyph, which is
Oh,
half in
okay.
darkness, half in light. So I revealed that area just out of convenience, but I can the actual area here.
I get it now.
There you go. So you are half in darkness.
I'm going to step out to the other side of the glyph. So imagine like right there.
You're in the total darkness.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So you're standing in total darkness. Yep. You guys see him disappear into the darkness. So let's switch back to the group because you've done a few things. The rest of you guys, what are you doing?
I don't know. That's a really tough one. I don't know if I want to just jump in. Well, I don't know if I just want to jump in, but if I move up and shine the bullseye lantern on it, it's just total blackness.
Total blackness.
Pick up a stone and toss it in there and see if it sounds like it's falling down a pit or if it just sounds normal.
It sounds like it hit Xanros in the chest.
I'll arc it over him then.
You can't see him.
Oh.
Try.
I pull him back. I'll pull Thanos back. You know.
Do you want to be pulled back?
Sure.
Okay.
We can do some tests here, I say, and I can move him, here. And then, yeah, throw it, toss a rock in there and see if it starts falling on a pit or something.
Well, he was in there. I mean,
Well, sure, but skip it a few feet down, like a bowling ball or something like that.
To try to hear. I mean, what?
Yes,
what do you,
I'm looking to sort of hear it like bounce along the floor.
Sure.
Or stop quickly, or like I should be able to hear if it starts like clanking down a staircase or into a pit or something.
Okay. You toss a stone down the hallway. You hear as it seems to bounce kind of consistently down the hallway.
Okay, so it doesn't seem to be falling into a hole or anything like that. Okay.
The alarm is still wailing, right?
Yep. Yeah, I'm just saving you guys from having to repeat it on the voice chat. But yeah, it's
Friends, I think we should do like the great warrior Leroy Jenkins and just charge ahead.
maybe a good idea.
I'll do it.
I'll be right behind you, buddy. In case you go somewhere where you can't speak, give 3 tugs on the penis. No, and we will pull you back with all our might.
So you're gonna send him by himself? So he's gonna
Yes.
Leroy Jenkins by himself?
Yep, shield in front. Yep.
Okay.
Well, just to make sure we'll have
Alright.
enough people to make strength checks if we need to.
Sure. Okay, so okay. Let's just, for the sake of argument, go ahead and roll initiative. and we will go in the order of initiative. You're not doing anything. You're not doing anything. That's fine. Everybody got their initiatives in?
Yep.
Okay. So, alright, cool. So, before any of that, I'm just gonna go. Okay. Let's see. Wait, hold on. Which one is that? Okay. Oh, hold on. Sorry. So Bobos, you're up.
All right, I can move up towards the thing here, but I don't have any spells that would be really appropriate here. I don't think. No. So I'm gonna pass my.
Rose?
All right. I can't see anything, so I don't know if it's worth trying to move forward. Um, 1 second.
Give me a perception check, Xanros. Okay. So you hear kind of sounds like Dwarvish, but unlike any Dwarvish you've ever heard before.
I'm gonna continue down the path then, I guess.
Into the darkness. Ahead of Cataris. Sure. That's what you want to do, Xanros?
Yes.
So for sake of kind of continuity, if you continue on that straight line of squares, you know, so like 1, 2, 3, and then down that line, like you will run into, or you know, that's the way the path continues. So as far as you know so far. So Halrin moves and passes, and Cataris, your turn. And go around Xanros.
Yep, I'm gonna go around him. I'm gonna.
In a straight line. I know there's no map area revealed, you know, because it is darkness. But just go ahead in a straight line. Okay.
That should be 30.
And when you get there, you bump into something like a solid object. Like, you know.
Does it give?
A little, not much, but you know, you're walking with your shield out front, and you kind of bump into it, and it gives a little bit, and then the pressure kind of lets up. So I mean, it is not a wall; it is something else, but you cannot see what it is. But you know, the pressure after you bump it kind of lets up.
Okay, I want to cast my cold cone breath.
Okay. So go ahead and make the attack without anything targeted. And so just remind me. Actually, I can just take a look.
I think it's a con save for anything in the cone.
Okay. And is it? Okay, so it's 2d6, yes. So
Right,
what is your
2d6.
DC? So it's 8 plus your Constitution mod, plus
Right,
your proficiency bonus. So your con mod is what?
Let me hit this button and see if it pops up.
Okay.
No, that didn't do it.
No, you'd have to have something targeted to make it roll the save. So
Gotcha.
what's your Constitution modifier? So if you go to main tab,
It's +1.
Okay, +1, +2 for your level, right? Your level 3. So
Yep.
So it's so the DC is 11. All right.
Okay.
So then have to make a DC 11. Have to make a DC 11. Okay, and what is it? Constitution? Or
Yep.
dexterity? Constitution?
Yep, it's a con save.
Okay. Alright, so and the distance on it is
15-foot cone.
15. Okay. Okay, cool. So alright, so let me make a con save here. Save. It saves. So there's only one. There was only one in the cone, and he saves. So I believe he takes half. So
Yep.
go ahead and roll your 2d6.
All right.
And I will go ahead and apply that damage. So 8 points of damage to.
And then halved.
Okay. Sorry, 4 then. Okay, cool. He takes that damage, and you hear a muttering in what you're now getting familiar with is a dwarven spin on Undercommon, which is the language that folks speak here in the Underdark.
Okay. Passing.
All right.
Although they probably heard my kind of a roar with the breath.
All right. So here's what. Hold on.
And I guess I tug once on the rope.
Okay. So.
What does that mean? I only came up with one signal. I'm trying to
so
figure
that
out.
Guy's gonna do that. Galen. What do you like to do, Galen?
Galen is going to advance here. 5, 15, 20, 25, 30. And ready in action just in case he sees anything. Well, he's going to get that opportunity attack anyway if he sees something move into his reach. But just in case the spell is lifted or something like that. So for now, he's actually going to use... Would the dodge action even be useful? To make all attacks have disadvantage against you?
And I don't know yet if anybody's going to attack you.
Well, just in case.
Yeah. So
that's my turn.
all right. Hang on 1 second there. So before you go, Xanros, I gotta do some stuff first.
No problem here.
So, Cataris, as the pressure that as the thing that you ran into, you feel as if it's gonna start to move away. So you can make an attack with disadvantage, and I'll let you know because you can't see it. You're just gonna try to take it's in essence a opportunity attack at disadvantage.
Okay.
Make that attack, and I'll let you know if you hit. do hit. So your sword finds purchase with whatever this creature is. Go ahead and roll me some damage.
Okay.
All right, so but it is going to finish its move. So Xanros, you are up. Xanros, what would you like to do?
Sorry, I was muted. You know what? I'm going to take a few steps forward and end my turn.
Senior Bobos.
He's gonna move down 5, 10, 15, and it's just gonna pass his turn there. No, if it's safe to cast a fireball or anything like that in this.
Okay, so before, let's see. Okay, we're good. We're good. So Cataris, what would you like to do? You no longer feel the thing that was in front of you. It apparently has moved away.
Yep. So I'm gonna yell, growl really loudly, and I'm gonna move my full movement unless something hinders my movement.
Oh, so when you step to the next kind of square, hang on a second.
Yep.
You actually emerge into
Okay. So
eyes begin to pick up what little light there is. You don't have dark vision, so you can't really see, but you can tell the difference because now instead of just a black shroud over your eyes, now it's more of a gray shroud.
okay. I'm gonna yell, bring out the light, and then move. I'm still gonna move the rest of my move.
Okay. So, here, hold on a second. Let me all right. So when you get there, just go ahead and stop. Like, go up to the edge of the light. Yeah. You'll have additional movement in a second, but something is going to happen when you move there.
10-4.
All right. So, all right. So basically, we're gonna get some opportunity attacks from some Durgar because they are here. But you cannot see them. They can see you. So they are going to attack with advantage. So Durgar 2 is going to attack you. And he's going to hit. He's going to do some damage. And then one is going to attack you as well. He too is going to hit you, and he is also going to do some damage. Okay. So as you move into the room, you feel two like piercing weapon strikes on either side of you. Just you just step forward. You're stumbling in the dark, and it's just as these two kind of what seem like spikes are driven into you from either side. You can continue to move if you'd like, but that's what happens.
The attacks came from what would be my front.
North and south. Down.
Okay. I'm gonna take the dodge action and just like I said, I'd hollered before, bring up the light.
You can
Stay where you are, yeah?
Yep, taking the dodge action in case there's any more attackers.
heal yourself with second wind maybe too.
Is that a hold on? Is that a bonus?
Yeah, second wind.
Yeah, and then I'll use that on myself.
Right.
Done.
All right. Galen, you have the lantern, yes?
I do, and
You get
right. I heard Cataras yell out, so I'm gonna move forward
yeah.
here.
All right. So
And,
hang on one second. So as soon as you get
awesome.
out of the darkness, let me reveal some stuff for you. So as you get here, as you get to the room, you cast the lantern. Casts a light. As soon as you emerge from the darkness, it's almost like to you, Cataras, it's like like somebody turned on a light switch. I mean, it's just like all of a sudden there's just this flood of light that comes seemingly out of nowhere as Galen emerges from the darkness, and you now see that you are, in essence, surrounded by these gray dwarves as they wield their war picks next to you.
Gotcha.
Galen, what would you like to do? So you now you've revealed their position. The other thing
boy.
you notice, so let me just give you the detail on the room. This room, there are. Oh, okay. So this room appears to be some kind of barracks. The Durgar have set up these large, like, fungal caps. They're like mushroom caps that they use as beds, and they line the room. And there are 4 Durgar in this room right now. And in the corner, there appears to be some kind of a bucket that it looks like maybe they were, playing some kind of game of chance and they left abruptly. So there's dice, coins, and, stuff kind of sitting on the bucket in the southwest corner.
The alarm, probably. But anyway, with 10 feet, can I attack through Cantoress? Is that a problem?
It is not a problem. Like, who did you want to attack?
Do I go 4? I can move in 10 feet too if you need me to, no problem.
A tight corridor. You can reach them. That's no problem. You can reach them from where you are. However, if you stay where you are, you might make it difficult for other party members to get into the room.
Right. I'll move out there, which is as far as I can go without taking any opportunity attacks, and I'll still attack him with my glaive.
Okay.
And is a hit.
Is a hit.
And then I got the blunt end. Oh, and it,
All right.
uh,
All your damage.
there is no pizza. There is some dead Dwargar.
There is one dead Durgar, though. That's for sure.
Dwagar, I would say.
Yes. So this is one like Durgar, Dwargar. There are
Durgar,
many different
one of yours.
pronunciations for that word. Personally, I go with the Dwargar, but your mileage may vary. All right. So Dwargar 1 is up. He is going to enlarge. So basically, he is going to become. He's going to become a larger version of himself. So, basically, he magically increases his size. He becomes large, right? So basically, he's going to kind of take up these 2 squares now. And let's see. So he's going to do that, and that's going to be his turn. So he's going to use the enlarge action. So Cataris, you're up.
Okay.
Now you have 1 giant Duragar, 1 large Duragar, and 2 smaller Duragar in the room with you.
All right, I'm going to swing at Duragar number.
Crits all over the place. Go ahead.
Yeah.
And here comes the damage.
Alright. That's a good,
Nice.
good hit.
And I think I'm going to action surge now to get get a second attack.
Okay. That is a hit. Boom.
Done.
Nice. There he
Nice.
goes. That Duragar goes down. Galen.
Can target number 1, I think, and cleave it up.
That is a hit.
And same with the blunt end.
He's wounded. That is
Ah,
a miss,
that one.
unfortunately.
It doesn't have. I don't want to use any movement or anything like that. So, right. If I move here, does it get an opportunity to attack?
Number
One.
1 would.
Number 1. No.
No, he wouldn't. No, he wouldn't. Nope, you're good.
Too big. All right.
She takes up both of those squares.
All right. I end my turn there.
All right, number 1 is going to go. He is going to move here. He is still adjacent to. He's still adjacent to Cataris. He's still adjacent to Galen, so he's going to attack Galen. And he's going to use his war pick. And he's going to miss. Halrin. You have 35 feet of movement speed.
Do I? Oh yeah, I do. I'll move there.
Oof. presume a bonus action is in order.
Yep.
That is a hit. Alright.
All right. I'm going to move in. Let me just double check real quick. Gonna move in right here.
Okay.
And I'm going to swing at him with my staff of healing.
Which one? One?
Yeah, one, and I missed. So use my extra attack to swing again.
Okay.
And apparently I am missing for
All
days.
kinds of threes. Make
Wow.
your unarmed strike. Bonus.
I was gonna say, yeah, I'm at least gonna take that this time. Wow, nope. We are 0 and 0.
Not in the cards for you. Alright, Dorgar 3 is going to he is going to enlarge as well. So he's basically going to move there. And he is going to enlarge. And that's going to be his turn. Senor Bobos, you are up. There's magical darkness between you and what's going on here, so you do not know what's going on in that room. You hear your...
Yeah, I'll just.
Go ahead.
I'm just playing with my owl, being like, "Oh, they'll be back soon. No problem." Well, I would have seen like them all go in, so.
Go into the darkness, yes.
25, 30. I'm gonna use
That's-
dash.
You are out of the darkness there. So you emerge out of the darkness
Okay, I see.
to that spot. From there, you could attack with range any of the two Durgar.
I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna use Permafrost. Nice. Oh, I thought that was 2 sevens for a second. Oh well. That's his turn. And then Gale is going to, or I'm sorry, Galen is going to continue to it. Misses with his glaive, but quickly moves around to try the blunt end and does a fair amount of damage.
Alright, Keteris.
So based on their size, I can reach them both, right? Or do I need to move left and right and pick one?
Other size, you could reach either.
All right, so I'm gonna target Durgar.
Okay.
Hit
Yep.
with the axe.
Oh, there he goes. And that Durgar goes down. Xanros.
I'm sorry, I was muted. I'm going to move up here to the north and attack him with my staff. Hey, I got a hit.
Hey.
I'll do the extra attack.
That's a hit as well. Let's see what happens.
Alright, and then my unarmed.
Oh, much better than last time.
Yeah, there we go. That's what. He just goes down after being wailed on.
That's right. So, now that all the Durgar are dead, again, I mentioned the room. There was a, there's what looks like a bucket kind of to the southwest, where it looks like they were playing some type of game of chance. There appears to be some coins and some other stuff around there. And there is a hallway leading to the north. This area looks far more refined than any of the other areas of this cavern structure. You actually have kind of stone pavers laid out. The Duragar have chosen to live in a much nicer, well carved area than the Darrow or obviously the lizards. But what would you guys like to do?
Search the tables, of course.
Okay, you find some stuff. So this, is in fact
stuff.
a barracks. So you find all of this. So you find a bunch of gold, a bunch of silver. These guys were doing pretty well. And some other items that I've put in the party sheet. So go ahead and take a look and see if there's anything in there that you think you might want.
Take that, then Galen might want that potion of healing. But what is the thick leather belt? Is it just a mundane thick leather belt?
No. It will need to be identified.
Oh.
Anybody have an issue if Cataris takes a healing potion?
No, go ahead. I'm gonna take a war
Yeah.
pick.
Galen took a healing potion sort of without asking, so you can go ahead.
Can I take the key?
The key was from the other guy, the Darrow guy.
Oh,
But nobody put it in their inventory.
Oh.
All right. So once you have sorted that stuff out, as I mentioned, there is a hallway to the north. You currently have a lantern. That lantern lights up the hallway, which it seems to lead into a larger room up ahead.
Well, first I'd like to take 1 minute to identify the,
The belt.
yes.
Does anyone in the party have healing spell they could?
It has been identified.
I
Do you need healing?
can. That's
A
my
little bit.
specialty.
Nice. Nice.
You should add another 3 to that, by the way.
So I gain 9 back.
9,
Yeah.
yes.
I'm gonna give this
Okay.
belt of dwarven kind to Galen, and I say once we get a free minute, I'll identify the other one.
Okay. So hallway appears to be another room ahead. What would you guys like to do? Go ahead and move out.
Move forward.
As long as the lantern is behind me, I can continue to lead.
Okay, we'll just presume that that's the case. Go ahead. Okay. This room is much better smelling and tidier than any other room in the complex thus far. It is a series of whittled furniture pieces, including a bed and chest of drawers. Within the room is a series of trunks and a chest of drawers and a bunch of other stuff. That's what you see. Go ahead and give me a perception check, Cataris.
Okay. $14.
You hear dwarven voices coming from the west. So there's another hallway here. You hear voices to the west.
Corrupted dwarves ahead.
Well, I want to check this chest of drawers.
All right.
Is it locked?
I'll stand watch from right there.
Yeah, so you're just gonna rummage through the drawers and stuff?
Well, I want to see if they're locked first.
Okay. And from where?
Oh, sorry. Galen is going to check. I think he has the key. Maybe Bubbles took it. We'll put them both in there.
So is he making any attempt to be quiet about it?
No, I don't think that would cross his mind. I'm gonna be honest.
Just checking.
He would go over and say like, "Oh, that looks like something that could fit the key." That's what's going through his mind. So he's gonna go over there and kind of like, rattle the handle and see if it comes loose or whatever happens.
Yeah. Nothing that requires a key in here.
Okay.
But you find a bunch of stuff. So let me go ahead and give you that stuff.
I say, I found a bunch of stuff.
There you go. There's a bunch of stuff. Okay. So you find a bunch of stuff. When you look through that stuff, I think you might learn a thing or two about the person whose room this is. So there is a hallway leading to the west.
This is Jules. And,
Incense.
yeah, it could be, into some weird sexual stuff.
Perfume.
Yeah, I thought this was family friendly. Brian, what are we gonna see in the next room?
There
there
is
a
another
gigantic
bulge, I'll tell
rotating
you
bed
that
in the
much.
Is there one of those gigantic... Nice.
Bulge.
I'm expecting one of those, like, 1970s gigantic heart-shaped beds that rotate and vibrate. We're gonna go find out. Galen is gonna take the bullseye lantern and continue
Find it in the room.
shine it right in the room, right in everybody's face
Okay.
with the light of justice.
Sure. So here we go. I'm just gonna reveal what you'd be able to see kind of down the hallway. So that's kind of what the lantern reveals. And again, you hear Durgar voices. And actually, let me just do this. Okay, there we go. Okay. Actually, I'll just go ahead and... So why don't you guys stack up like you're going to proceed that way? Order you're in. Is that the
My
order?
characters are good like they are.
And there's your aforementioned bulge. So, let's see. So, let's go here. Okay. All right. So everybody, go ahead and roll initiative. As you shine the light in the room, the Duragar from within yell, "Ready, men! Here they come!" Initiatives in. I only see 3 initiatives. 4.
Oh.
There we go. And Rose, way at the bottom. Nice. All right. Halrin, you are up first. What would you like to do?
That's good enough. Or actually, they can see me there, can't they?
Yeah.
They have line of sight, I mean, for range attacks. But here they don't. That's good enough.
So that's it. Just move up a little bit.
That's it.
Caterus.
All right, I'm going to take 25 feet of movement. And then I can, that'll give me the lay of the land, knowing now that it's, the direction I need to face. And I am going to take the dodge action.
All right. Send your bobos.
I'm glad things worked out this way. Gonna move 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30.
No, you're not.
Am I not?
Because when you attempt
that
to step into that square,
Oh dear.
there is already an occupant of that square.
Oh. Hi. Yeah.
So when you attempt to enter that square, you bump into this thing who was invisible, who is now revealed as he is now going to make an opportunity attack against you.
Oh dear.
1 second. That's Durgar.
Don't roll. I'm gonna use my other portent any critical miss.
Okay. So he just misses.
Yeah. So I'm going to yell in surprise and use my misty step teleportation to teleport over here and see if I bump into another Dwergar.
You do not.
Not okay. So I use that as a bonus action, so I'm going to cast a cantrip as my action. So sort of that sort of sequence of events, teleports and then just casts Ray of Frost at him.
That is a hit.
Nasty thing, kind of thing.
Okay, so he is not happy about that. He is going to move to here. He is going to try to take revenge upon you for attacking him with his war pick. And for some reason I thought I heard you. Guess I did not. Here we go. Does a 12 hit your AC?
Nope, it's 16.
Okay, then he's just going to miss. Brindle is here. He is tied up in the corner. He is not going to do anything because he can't. Durgar 4 is going to enlarge. So I'll just move him in between those squares. That's going to be his action. Durgar 2 is going to do the same. Enlarge. Xanros, you are up.
Alright. Let's see here. Going to move here and attack the Dragar.
Alright. That is a hit. There you go.
Extra attack.
Oh shit.
Good hit. There you go.
Unarmed attack.
Oh, in this action.
Oh.
I miss.
Use a key for another one.
Yeah, I will. I'll use a Kai point. Still have a few of those. So it's for 2 more.
That is a hit.
Nice.
Oh, you don't need it. That's gonna be my turn.
Alright.
Again, it's gonna move 10, 15, 20, 25.
No, you're not.
Oh, am I not?
Oh, invisible.
Invisible thing.
So you run into another Durgar. Hello.
Hi.
And so you kind of turn the corner and you kind of walk right into him, and kind of bump back as he makes a lunging attack with his war pick against you. So there we go. And that is a hit.
No, 17, man.
7 points of piercing damage. Okay. Sorry. You can now continue your movement, but
I don't think I'll need to move anymore.
okay.
I have, this guy was kind enough to hang out with me. I gotta play with him. Boom. And then the blunt end is a bonus action. Boom. 18 damage, not too bad. Not too bad.
All right.
Kashal, ooh.
Kashal.
Is he a boss? Ooh,
Right.
he looks... So those ice picks growing out of his head?
No, he's just a different type of Durgar. He is a war chief. So he's basically got like a Mohawk war chief.
Bobos yells out, "Dude, who's your stylist?
Yeah.
It looks
so
really great."
He is going to. So he is going to. Let's see. He is going to enlarge as well. And. Okay, so he is going to enlarge as well. So he's going to just kind of split that area there. And then he's going to throw a javelin. Actually, I don't. Hold on. Let's see. Yeah, he's going to enlarge, and then he's going to throw a javelin at Cataris, but he doesn't realize he's dodging, so he's because that's what he does. He doesn't care. So here comes a javelin with disadvantage. Oh. the javelin just goes way wide up over his head. And so, Xanros, you are up.
Alright. I'm going to move over here. And attack with my staff. Did I not target him?
Nope. Anybody targeted right now? Would have been a hit anyway, so go ahead and target him and roll your damage.
That's just weird. It's not. Alright. Rolling damage.
Alright. There you go. He's done. You are down.
I would like to continue moving forward and attack with my extra attack.
Okay.
That one? I don't think that one's gonna work either. Alright, let me try this.
So we're gonna disregard the effect. I just didn't just turn them off. So, but it is a critical. Go.
I don't use my unarmed attack.
Just because it would make all those enemies blind.
And use a Kai.
Just because it's a lot to try to keep track of.
Use a Kai point as well. So I'll do 2 more unarmed attacks. Oh no, never mind, I missed. It's doing so good. So good. Pass that along to Gallon.
Galen is up. No more
help you out.
Durador in his way.
Yeah. He's gonna move over and kick the shit out of this dude. Oof. On the blood end. Ah! Just 2 terrible misses as he tries to go for him, but fails. Miserably.
That's a hit.
Nice.
Oh!
Well done.
Can I can split my move action, right? So I can move up and then attack some more?
Yep.
Nice.
You can use key points if you want to make additional attacks.
I think I do want to do that.
So basically,
How
what
do
you
I,
do is you do your regular. You already did your regular attack, so now you just check one of the boxes on your sheet. Under your, so like how I created those little check boxes under first level spells. So just check one, and then you make 2 unarmed attacks. So each one of those equals 2 unarmed attacks.
Okay.
Pick a new target and attack them twice. You can attack 1 each. That is a miss. Two is a miss.
Boy, that was a key point well spent.
Yeah.
We're getting the bad rolls out of the way, Senor Bubba.
Getting the bad rolls out of the way, like
Yeah.
with this campaign and the next few, so that some campaign in the future will roll really, really well.
Right.
Exactly. So what Bubbles is going to do, he's going to see how we've had issues hitting him, and so he's going to use Magic Missile, which always hits, and he's going to use it as a 3rd level spell. So that's going to 5 darts, each doing 1d4 plus 1 damage.
Yep.
So
Not the same guy.
all the same guy, all at that dude. Man, those were some bad rolls. 16 damage though.
There's the requested pie from the chat.
Nice.
Caterus.
Okay. I'm going to. Caterus will run forward. And target door 2.
Yeah, again, we're going to ignore the effect. Been ignoring them, except for the one that you took, which was just positive to you. You know what? I'll give you this one as well. You are immune to all damage types for 1 round. So for the next round, you are unable to take damage. For you.
Jump
Alright, here
off
comes.
a cliff.
Yeah.
Here comes the damage.
Shouldn't there be more if it was a crit?
Yeah. For some reason, you're.
No, he. Oh, you rolled twice accidentally.
No, you.
I
rolled
don't
your-
know.
Yeah, you rolled.
See,
your
I saw 2
attack
things
first.
roll, but I only hit the button once.
Go ahead and roll your damage again, and then I'll just subtract out the 3, because you would have just got double dice damage.
Okay.
Oh. Let's see. Okay.
Nice.
Okay, got it. Made the correction. Alright, Kashal enlarged. So first thing he's going to do is use his call to attack, which is basically he's going to tell Duragar 2 to attack. So he's going to do that. And here comes his attack. So his attack with his war pick is a miss. So then the next thing he's going to do is he's going to use his hammer to attack. It's right next to him. Let's make sure I got it right. Okay, here comes the hammer. Oh, that's a miss as well.
Sweet.
Duragar 2, he's going to attack Halrin himself, and he's going to hit. And he is enlarged, so here's some damage. Bam. That's going to be his turn. Brindle struggles with his binds, but cannot break free. Halrin is up.
I'm gonna keep attacking the guy with the early '90s hair.
Guy Fieri
Guy
over there.
from Kid and Play.
The
Miss.
guy from
Damn, what the hell is this guy's AC? It's at least 20. Wow.
It's not
I'll
that.
just magic missile him to death. I don't give a shit. That doesn't seem to do the most. Wow.
Oh, that's another miss. Very powerful, remember?
Totally. So I'm going to target him, and I'm going to use blindness, deafness, and I'm going to attempt to blind.
Hey, what's the save? Oh, actually, you don't even need it. You just target him and cast it, and it'll roll a save.
Nice. Ah! Where is he? There he is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Xanros.
Alright, let's see here.
All is now blinded.
So that should get advantage to all your attacks.
Next minute. Problem for him.
I'm gonna run around this way because I have the movement speed. To get advantage.
Yep.
Even
I use my extra attack. Does he still get advantage?
Go, barely. There's some damage.
Unarmed attack.
this guy's no joke, man.
Yeah, he is not, but I'm gonna stay right there for now.
His turn. He's gonna have disadvantage on his attack, but he's going to attack Halrin. And that's a
Wow.
hit with disadvantage. Oh! Goes down as he makes contact with his psychic attuned warhammer.
What the fuck is that?
Halrin goes unconscious.
Yay.
He's going to use his call to attack to allow Durgar 2 to make an attack against Zenros. So Durgar 2 is going to attack Xanros. His war pick. And that is a hit. And here's some damage for Xanros. Oh! Damage. Oh no, Xanros. Alright, and that's all he can do this turn. Alright, there we go. Cataris, you just saw your halfling monk buddy get decimated by a hammer.
Yeah, so before I process that, I need to clear up the wounds. For some reason, I had myself targeted, so when I did that damage to the Duragard, it washed onto me.
You still have yourself targeted.
Yeah, I'll do that. I left it that way you would see it.
Yep, go ahead. The hit. Ah, some more damage. He's not yet down though. Continuing to struggle with his binds. Galen. Getting there.
Galen's gonna glaive him.
Oh. A 1 and a 4.
Oh my
my.
god. Just can't get to him. Yeah.
He's blinded. You're still.
Even though he's
Yeah.
blinded.
Alright, so he's going to continue to attack Xanros, and he's going to miss. And that's all he's going to do. So
Galen's
Galen
gonna
is up.
try glaive again. Yeah. Yeah! Bunch of damage. Look at that.
Yeah.
Well,
Hurt.
deep still. Then blunt end. And that's more like it. This is more like it. Alright, 5 more damage.
He's not looking so great. He's struggling to see. He's got one hand like flailing around as his hammer is in the other hand. Cataris.
Cataris is going to continue to try to bring down the other Duragard.
As a miss. Brindle. Alright, Kashal. Kashal is going to shift his attention to where this well, I guess to Xanros, because he's the next closest to attack. So he's going to attack Xanros with disadvantage. Actually, so he'll do his call to attack first. So he's gonna have his Duragar buddy attack Xanros. Actually, I think. Duragar 2 attack there. War pick. Here we go. That is a miss. Oh, didn't mean to do that. Hold on. Sorry, Xanros.
It's all good.
It's not quite your turn. I'll finish this up. Hang on. There we go. Alright, so here comes the Psychic Attuned Hammer attack. Oh, dropped a crit. But he was not attacking, he wasn't targeting anybody. So
That would have been a hit, technically,
Would have
because
been
my
a hit?
AC is 19.
Alright,
Yeah.
here comes the pain. You ready?
Yep.
There you go.
Okay.
Oh, actually, I rolled the wrong die, but that's okay. Thanks a lot, Mike Dubs, for the follow. Thanks. That's going to be his turn. So, Xanros, you are up now. I believe there is an ask to heal the down party member.
Oh,
Of course.
didn't realize I could see that.
It's all good. So I'm going to attack once, and then I'll use charge from my staff to heal him. Cool, I can target.
Oh, big damage.
And now that that's done, should I target him? Oh, there we go.
There we go. So an additional 3 on top of that. So Halrin, you're going to recover a total of 12.
Neat.
So
And then I'm going to pass my turn.
all right, Halrin, you can use half your movement to stand up, and go ahead and attack if you'd like.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. And down goes Duragar 2. All right. We're down to Kashal. And he is in bad shape. So
Wow.
crits all over the place. What's going on? All that crit damage. Damn. Did you want to use a key point to make an additional attack, or did you want to just let it ride?
Yeah, why not? Let's.
Why not?
Do it.
Ow. Oh, that's
That's a
a
miss, right?
miss. Fortunately. Senor Pobos.
Bring it in, Senor Bobos.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that with more magic missiles.
Wait.
So yes, 1, but just the level 1 spell. Oh, I'll find the third one.
Just keep them coming.
No.
Keep them coming.
Yeah, absolutely.
There it is. Alright. So, why don't you go ahead and describe how it goes down?
Well, he's kind of staggering along anyway, and when these gigantic force bolts of energy come towards him, he, tries to dodge around, but not only is he seeming tired, but the bolts, hone in on him, and there's no way he's going to get them. There's no way he's going to avoid them. And one smacks him in the bottom. It's like two defensive ends hitting a
Him in the
quarterback
Guy
from both
Fieri
sides.
haircut.
Yeah, right. Yeah, he shaves him down to a buzz cut, while the other one, smacks him in the solar plexus, and slams him against the wall, and he you know, blood coming from his mouth as he died.
Awesome. Well done, guys.
Yeah.
So you guys, now that you have killed Kashal, you notice that there is a chest which was kind of behind him, that that he was kind of sitting on originally when you guys first got to the room, but when he stood up, he kind of stood over it for the entire battle. And you do notice a dwarf in the corner that is familiar to you, which is Brindle, who is currently tied up. So I know we're running late. I really appreciate everybody sticking with us. I will, the key that you were provided does in fact open that chest, and so let me go ahead and tell you all the cool stuff you find. So let me open up the party sheet here. So bam, I dropped a bunch of stuff in there for you, but the gist of it is there's a magic warhammer in there.
Oh damn.
There's a couple potions of greater healing, some acid, some bracers. Let's see. Yeah, a bunch of stuff. Some rubies, war picks, all kinds of cool stuff, and a bunch of cash. So I'll go ahead and divvy up the cash. In addition, I'm going to award you the 500 that Sarah promised, because now you're going to escort. Brindle right here, back to his loving wife, who has desperately missed him. And additionally, there are 7 casks of ale back, kind of surrounding where Brindle is, which you recover as well. And so with all of that, I am going to. So does anybody have any questions before we break?
Experience.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Some of that, right? So let's do this. So we've got. So I'll go ahead and assign out the experience here in a minute. I'm going to go ahead and let our stream friends get back to their lives. Really appreciate everybody joining us this evening. We had a bunch of different visitors stop in, participate in the chat. So thanks everybody for coming by, and we will see you all next time for Roleplay Network. This is us signing off. Thanks.